Learning Company.
I've got a good story, but I don't memorize, so I'm going to read the story. Hi, I'm Peter Dublin, the president of the Family Learning Company, and I want to tell you our story, a story about how we will improve the world by creating a new product, family learning. In the United States and around the world, there's a workforce readiness problem caused by illiteracy. Almost 2/3 of the jobs in the US will require at least some college studies by 2020, yet only 1/2 of American adults read above an 8th grade reading level. Functional literacy costs our nation a staggering $225 billion in lost productivity each year. Globally, illiteracy costs the economy $1.2 trillion annually because 1.5 billion people are illiterate or functionally illiterate. Existing approaches and programs are inadequate. In the US, the government provides only 2 million adult basic education slots per year, less than 2% of what is needed. If our government can't do it, how can we solve our global illiteracy problem? The strongest overall motivator for most adults is to create a better life for their children and for others in their families. By leveraging that motivation and combining it with fun, proven literacy learning activities and low-cost mobile access, the Family Learning Company can change literacy outcomes by connecting adults and their children on a shared learning journey. In our vision, parents who are more literate will help their children become more literate and vice versa. Adult basic education programs will experience deeper student engagement and retention and learning. Workforce development programs will offer literacy skill development as a central component of their job preparation programs. Corporations around the world will have an incentive to offer literacy skill development as a component of job training. The global economy will be more productive when more employees are more literate, offering greater growth, higher salaries, and/or increased leisure time. Literacy is the doorway to a more loving, productive, and pleasant world. Family learning is the key to that future. So, we encourage as many as 4 people to log in the same time because we know human beings are social learners. That could be groups of adults, groups of kids, or parents with their own kids. So you'll notice right from the start on our login screen, we support collaborative learning. Flink Literacy combines Spanish and English activities for young children and adults to help Spanish heritage speakers. However, most functional illiterates in the US are native English speakers. So I'm going to start with our literacy program for young kids.
Bilingual literacy. You and your team are in control.
That's an animated introduction for kids. I'll tell you how to do things. Our programs are student controlled. We don't let the computer tell students what to do next. Students are more engaged when they tell the computer what to do. So there are no assignments. So they simply pick a level and then see the subjects. But if we expect students to decide what levels, subjects, or activities they will do next, it's our responsibility to provide them the information they need to make those decisions. So we provide formative assessment feedback after every question, every activity, and for every level. And when parents and children are logged in together, they can see each other's reports. We include all 6 components of literacy: phonemic awareness, decoding, reading fluency, reading comprehension, vocabulary, and writing. You can see that on the subject menu. Our activities are graphically appealing with rich audio and graphics.
Excellent.
We have over 120 ebooks for kids and over 350 reading selections for adults. And for each book, they have an ebook or a reading. They have an ebook, they have comprehension questions, and a writing activity. The ebooks for children are graphical children's picture books. They start the timer, and when they finish, they stop the timer, and they can compare their time to the benchmark time for a kid of that age in a book of that length. We don't let them get out until they finish the book. The comprehension questions are not just memory questions. So they're questions that cover...
when the girl jumps on the trampoline?
They cover the full length of emotional development, deductive reasoning, not just memory. And they're, as is almost everything in our program, read to the learner. The writing activities, we use a graphically appealing word processor where kids can write about the pictures in the book that they've read. And for vocabulary activities, for every set of words, there are between 5 and 10 different activities, matching words to sound, matching words to definitions, and things like word search puzzles. So that's my 5 minutes. I'll take your questions now, or you can talk to me at the exhibitor booth or the exhibitor table after the session. So not as shy as you were before. I'm glad he warmed you up.
So you mentioned if half of the adults are illiterate or functionally illiterate, how do they help their kids? Or if the kids have some challenges, how does the program help them? Can they learn by themselves?
Well, the adults will learn by themselves, and the kids will help the adults learn. And as the kids help the adults learn more, and the kids learn more. The kids will work on their own, but the adults will help the kids. And when the adults help the kids learn more, and the adults learn more. So it's this helping and this back and forth which magnifies the learning. Adults can help their kids even if they're illiterate, even if the adults are illiterate. They will help more as they become more literate, and they'll become more literate in part by helping their kids. We look at everything as either or, but the fact is adults know things and they can help their kids, and we want them to help their kids and to see that they can help their kids even if they're not particularly literate. I mean, most adults are not illiterate. They're, in this country, they are functionally illiterate. They read at first or second grade level. And that's plenty to help kids who are just learning how to read improve their reading. And the biggest problem adults have is they think they don't know anything and they can't help their kids. And they can always help their kids. We just want to give them a context to do that.
The interface is fairly juvenile.
This is I showed you the little kids program.
Okay.
For the adults, there are no background graphics, there are no characters, they're not picture books. So, yeah, it's the question was, the interface looks juvenile, and the answer is, for little kids, it does look juvenile, and for adults, it looks certainly less juvenile. Yes?
I'm assuming that it's geared primarily towards lower income families. If the parents are struggling to learn to read, do they have more than one computer device in their home so that the parents and children can work together? Or is it, can the parents and child use the same device but at different times? How?
Well, they use the same device at different times, and they use the same device at the same time. If you and I are working together, I guess technically in this day and age you can do it remotely, but we don't think much of that. We want face-to-face. So to me, to have one person sitting in a computer is from a learning perspective, maybe from a productivity perspective it may be fine, but from a learning perspective it's bad. You won't learn as much by yourself as you will with others. So kids will go off on their own. Maybe they'll work with their friends, maybe they'll work with their siblings. But our hope is that you'll never find one person at a computer. Now, you're taking the bus to work, you want to work on your literacy skills, that's fine. But we encourage people to be working together on the same device, not remotely.
Last question.
Yeah.
I guess this is a comment/question. Have you thought about adding some type of like gamification to incentivize the students? You know, it can be hard to incentivize students when, or kids when they're trying to learn English. And have you sort of thought about strategies to make them continue to work?
We've thought a lot about it and have decided not to do it. We want the kids to work more in terms of their internal motivation and in terms of their relationships with each other. So we don't mind a kid showing off for a parent. That's in a sense an external motivation. But our understanding of the research is that animations, gamification detracts from learning, not enhances learning. And it doesn't, to me, it doesn't do the kid any good to spend more and more time at something that's not effective. And they'll spend more time at the game, but it's not effective from a learning perspective. Yeah.
If the adults and the children are illiterate, how do they find this product or service? And then how do you address potentially like the shame for the adult that they might have because they're illiterate and make them more comfortable?
Well, we want to, I mean, we want the tablets to be provided by families, by other organizations, whether it's community organizations. From my perspective, the best situation would be corporations giving it to their employees, because that avoids the stigma. This is just a benefit. The parent can think, I'm giving it to my kid, and yet the parent is going to benefit from it as well. So at least in the early stages of our distribution, we expect to provide the tablets to organizations who will provide it to these families.
Thank you.
How to make sure that you're improving through this? Family?
We're working on an arrangement with the educational testing system to provide online, they have online literacy tests for kids and for adults.
Thank you.
And I guess I'm done, but I will be at the exhibitor table.
Thank you. Thank you very much.